Welcome to Insurance Alert broadcast. I am Vivek Jain here, Editor-in-Chief, Insurance Alerts. TPA are the backbone of health insurance industry, and to know how TPA can enhance the penetration of health insurance in India, we have with us Mr. Shirish Singh, EVP, FHPL TPA. Mr. Singh has more than 18 years of experience in the insurance and TPA industry. So let's welcome Mr. Shirish Singh. So my question to you is that how a TPA can help in increasing the penetration of health insurance in India.
Okay. Now, let me just give you some history about it. TPA operation started in early 2000. Okay. At that time, growth rate of health insurance industry was around 10% or so, if I'm not wrong. And since the introduction of TPA, a lot of problems were also the hiccups were there in the beginning. But since then, on an average, health insurance industry has been growing at the rate of almost 25 to 30%, and in few years it was 35% also. Okay. Now, when we talk about penetration, we need to understand certain issues. One is health insurance segment wise. There are three main segments. One is the retail. Second is what do you call it? Group insurance, and third is government business. Okay. Now, penetration in corporate business or group business was never a big issue. Penetration in what do you call it? Retail business was little bit of an issue, and government business as such, it comes or it goes. It doesn't have much impact on the servicing part.
Yeah.
Corporate business has increased many-fold because the kind of services which were provided to insured members have been improving over a period of time. So not only the benefit has improved, but also penetration also improved. But retail, very rightly you said that retail penetration is not that much. And for that penetration, I think insurance companies need to make a lot of effort in that direction. Providing services is not a big issue, but penetration can increase when you need to, when you inform members or prospective members about this kind of services which they can get and the benefit which can be conveyed to. Insurance benefit is not easy to explain.
Yeah.
Anybody. Okay. So a lot of effort is required to promote health insurance amongst the normal public. So somewhere, I think that part is lagging. That is the reason penetration has not increased much in the retail side.
Okay. So what step you think basically should come forward, or how the thing should be done so that it can be increased?
Okay. There are two things. One is if you look at the business, in corporate insurance or group insurance, the kind of services which are offered to members is phenomenal. Like almost everything is offered to them.
Yeah.
Pre-existing is offered to them, and then you health benefit from the point of view. Many wellness services are also offered to the members of corporate services, be it TPA, be it broker, and that is the reason that that business, even after, I'll just give you one example, that since broker, insurance company and TPA, we all think that if we strike a good corporate deal, at one go we get a lot of business. So more importance is given to this business, which is in fact a loss-making business for a long time. Okay, because there's always a fight for premium. There's always a fight for, say, TPA service charges amongst various TPAs. And then the kind of services which expectations which are there from the insurance side or the corporate member side is also very high.
Mm.
So because of that, the claim ratio is very high. But if you look at retail business, claim ratio had been very low, around 70 to
Yeah.
75%. Okay, and they are not getting that kind of services what we are providing to corporate members.
Yeah.
Okay, so this becomes something like this, that you earn from one segment of the customer and then spend somewhere else. Okay, now if you whatever you are earning in retail side, you invest in that segment and then try to grow that segment. That will help everybody. But I seriously feel that there is a lack of focus. Now, many pure health insurance companies, like, for example, Star Health, or even Apollo Munich also at that time when it was not merged with HDFC, their focus was totally on the retail customer. Okay. And because of that, they were doing well as far as profitability was concerned. One more point I would like to add, growth was always there in the last, say, 15 years or something, but problem was profitable growth. Profitable growth can come only if we stop subsidizing corporate customers by retail customers and focus more on retail customers, provide more services to retail customers, so that word of mouth can increase our business or increase business of insurance companies in the retail sector, and penetration will almost always increase. Now, if you look at the overall market, mainly market is there in metros, metro and mini metro cities. In other cities, retail business is very low. So somebody needs to make a lot of effort in creating awareness about insurance, hence health insurance in particular. Then only penetration can be increased. And yes, of course, increase the level of services which can be provided to the members.
So, who can play a very important role in doing this? You think agents or brokers?
Once again, the role of brokers is limited into
Corporate.
health insurance, mainly with the corporate. Okay.
Yeah.
Retail, very few brokers are there who are doing some kind of work there. And unfortunately, in corporate business, it's a broker or client. They choose TPA.
Yeah.
Insurance company doesn't have much say in the choosing TPA also.
Yeah.
Okay. So now try to understand the loyalty of normally TPA or service provider is more towards, say, corporate customer as well as broker. Because they know that if they provide proper services, then they will be retained next year whether same insurer is there or same insurer is not there. Few TPAs like us, we try to create a balance between both the things. Okay. Otherwise, most of the TPAs, they try to show more loyalty towards the customer than the, because who is actually customer, it's difficult to define here. For a TPA, whether it's an insurance company customer, you get your fees from TPA or insurance company, but premium is paid by corporate. Broker plays role in each and everything. Okay. So for us, there are three customers. Okay. In, once again, corporate side. Retail side, which is like I'll tell you that even for a TPA also, it's a profitable business. Okay. Because you get a set fees, and where the expectation as far as services are concerned is not much. Okay. So if TPAs provide more, or they are more concerned towards the say retail customer, that will help everybody. But unfortunately, what happens, that allocation of retail business happens once in 2-3 years prior from insurance company side. So anybody who has got the allocation, whether he is able to provide services or not provide services, he is there for 2-3 years. Now, as per recent developments, what IRDA has said and insurance company is also saying that for a retail customer also, the choice of TPA should be there. So he should choose 1 out of 3. But even in that also, what do you call it? Agents are playing major role in choosing that TPA. Okay, agents are more bothered where claim is settled. Wrongly or rightly, they're not much bothered about that. Because once they go and sell the policy to a retail customer, at that time they do not inform retail customer properly that what all things are covered under the policy. Okay, they say just you just pay the money, everything will be paid.
Yeah.
So that becomes the main motive for them. I'm sorry, I have nothing against agents or something.
Yeah.
This is unfortunate. This is the training and then motivation. Everything helps in overcoming these things. I'm sorry, I'll just have some water.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So this is how situation is presently, and I hope that things will improve in future,
Yeah.
so that more concentration can be given on the profitable segment of retail customer, and they start getting better services.
That's great, sir. And what do you think, sir, will be the effect of COVID or this whatever happened? Will this help in growing the health insurance?
Of course, it will help. In fact, everybody has realized this thing, that these kind of problems can come in different kind of forms in future. Okay, so that should help. This is the right time when insurance companies should try to create awareness more in smaller towns and all, so that they can the penetration can be increased, and that can always help in increasing the business in a profitable manner. Because today, if you look at the overall segmentation, almost 44% of the total health insurance business is from corporate side. 44% is from the retail customer. Okay. Now, and other is for government business. So if we can increase retail business from 42% say to 60% or 65%, automatically overall health insurance business will be profitable, and that will help everybody. Every player will be helped by that. Today, everybody is taking to shortcut measures by cutting TPA charges, by reducing the premium, by reducing the, say, uh, broker charges. So in long run, these things are not going to help. We need to correct all these things at the fundamental level. That's more important.
Okay. But sir, this newly launched Corona policy coverage and all that, you are servicing them also, right, sir?
Yes, yes, we are servicing.
But do you think it will be profitable? Because the way claims are coming now.
I think it should be in that if we look at the time horizon of say 1 year or something, I think it should be profitable. Why I'm saying this thing, that now awareness amongst the normal public and corporate customers is also increasing, that hospitalization is not required. Okay, so once you are living at your home in isolation, at that time not much of expenditure is happening.
Yeah.
Okay, and percentage wise, if you look at the overall situation, so I don't think that this policy will be in loss in long run.
Okay. And during these periods, how many claims you have handled and paid and things like that?
Exact numbers I will not be able to
Yeah,
provide
not
because
roughly. Yeah, roughly.
but I'll just give you some idea. When this lockdown started, at that time suddenly number of claims dropped almost to 40%
Yeah,
across the
initially.
country. Okay. All claims, because people stopped going to the hospital for regular surgeries or
Yeah.
planned surgeries, planned hospitalization. Uh, what was happening initially when lockdown was not there? So even for small fever also, somebody was thinking, since I am covered, so let me go to hospital, take some rest there, enjoy the facilities and all. So that suddenly stopped. But in the last 1.5 or 2 months, now that pent-up demand, whatever we can call it, that has increased the number of hospitalization now. So now there are more hospitalization which are happening now, and that is compounded with the what do you call it, COVID patients also. So now that sometimes it becomes difficult to get medical facilities for our members, but we are working hard on as all the TPAs. so that we can provide services to all our members.
That's great.
So that is the current situation right now.
But still, there is no cure for COVID, or no, like, we don't know for how much long period this will happen, when the vaccine will come and things like that. Do you think there'll be a lot of claims to come in times to come?
That's already started coming.
Yeah.
So I think that trend will continue,
No,
because what happens that in the beginning, when something new or something scary comes, then everybody gets scared. But when it becomes a part of your life on
Life, yeah.
everyday basis, then आपके अंदर का डर खत्म हो जाता है.
खत्म हो गया, yeah.
So that is the reason now they are not scared to go out in the market.
Yeah.
If you go to a market, normally we don't go, but if you pass by, you can see
Yes.
people sitting in the restaurants,
Yes.
people sitting in the parks, everywhere in the bunches without mask. Okay, so this is not going to help anybody in the future. Now people are not realizing that this is the time when you need to take maximum precautions.
Yeah.
Maximum precaution was taken when the threat was very small.
Yeah.
And it has become bigger. Now we are used to it, so we have stopped taking precaution.
Okay.
So in times to come, chances are that medical facilities provided in the major cities and all may be tested to the limit.
Okay.
So it can be a scary situation in the future if we do not take precaution.
Okay.
That's what we try to. Sorry.
Yeah, you can say.
So that's what we try to tell all our members as well as corporate customers, that don't expect that during this situation, if you do not help yourself, probably nobody will be able to help you.
That's right. Okay. So what is your prediction on vaccines, sir? You all are in the medical field. So what are your assumption on that?
Well, your guess is as good as mine.
Okay.
And now the situation is that it's in the third stage of testing.
Yeah.
But what happened that in the second stage, it was stopped because of certain reason.
Yeah.
So even if it comes by the month of say December or January, distribution may take a lot of time. And then they need to decide about the priority also, that first vaccine should be used on this particular segment. So let us not assume that everything will be all right by just getting vaccine at the right time. Okay. So that clarity is not there.
Okay.
Even in medical field also, you talk to best of the doctors, and I think Dr. Harshvardhan was also there on some TV program. So even with confidence, he is also not able to tell that when exactly it can be done. So let's wait. Let's see. Hopefully, it should come early.
Yeah, I know, and should take care of ourselves as much as we can, our family.
Right.
Okay, sir. It was really nice talking to you on the things. So thank you very much. It was a great pleasure talking to you.
Pleasure is entirely mine.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.